So Robert is in need of a second date update with a woman named Denise, and we're going to try to help him out. Hey, Robert.
Hi, guys. Really appreciate you taking my call.
Happy to help. How'd you meet Denise?
Well, I met the incredible Denise online, and we went to a Reds game.
Fun.
Nice.
Yeah, we're both huge fans, and of course, both of us are only willing to date other Reds fans.
Really?
Yeah, it's like out of the gate. That was the biggest thing that we had in common. And it turns out she kind of watched games just like I do, like we're the soft-spoken fans, who only swears and disgust under their breath and claps softly when something awesome happens. I've gone to games with the screamers, and I just can't stand it.
Yeah, it's funny because when I think of going to a baseball game, I just think of being out there relaxing with a hot dog and a beer and enjoying the action. And you certainly want to see him win. Like, you get excited when there's a home run or when there's a really intense moment. But yeah, I don't really get that emotionally invested.
It's not like going to a Bengals game where you're really, really loud and crazy.
Yeah, baseball is a chill sport. It's not quite golf, but it's not football. It kind of lands in the middle there.
Relaxing.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. So you will only date Reds fans. Both of you will only date Reds fans. So if she was like a Red Sox fan or an LA Dodgers fan.
Or a Cubby.
We wouldn't even have had another conversation online.
Even if it's not a rival team from the same league, there's no chance.
No, die hard, both of us.
That's funny. Okay. So how was it? Did you have a good time?
Yeah, we had a great time, and we had brats, we had beers, we had good conversation, we kind of discovered we have actually a lot of other things in common, and I just felt like she was very flirty with me, she put her hand on my arm and on my leg, and, I was feeling like she was sending these signals, and it was super comfortable, and I don't know, it just felt like we, kind of had known each other for, quite a while. And we'd actually met at the Holy Grail before the game. So, when the game was over, I walked her to her car and I told her, hey, I had a really great time. I'd love to see her again. And she said, oh, well, that sounds nice.
Nice. Nice.
Oh,
yeah.
That sounds nice.
I just remember feeling in that moment, not really sure how to take that because, she was smiling and it seemed positive.
It also doesn't feel like a yes.
No, especially after he got to first base with her putting her hand on his arm and his leg. I don't know. Is that even first base?
That sounds nice. It's not a yes.
What are the bases?
I know. We talked about this a while ago. Because when we were kids, the bases were like holding hands, touching your boobs was two.
Oh, wow. That's
and
touching your boob is first base?
No, it was second base.
Oh, yeah,
holding hand. No, holding hands, kissing, touching boobs, and going all the way.
That's for. I thought you were stopping at first.
My French's definition.
Now, second base is when you get out the handcuffs.
Second base is like we might gotta bleep some stuff.
Oh my God!
No, I'm kidding.
That's what it used to be, I think.
No, first base is
holding hands and kissing, and then touching boobs, and then all the way.
No.
Okay, well, did you hold hands at all, Robert?
No, not officially. So I guess that's not first base.
No, but that's why I would argue that you did make it to first base. If she may not have held your hand, but she was putting her hand on your leg, and you said she was touching your arm.
She was, and I thought that was a good sign.
I feel like that's the equivalent of hand holding.
See, I like that part, but I don't like. That sounds nice. That feels off-putting to me. Like if I'm in it, I'm like, yes.
I'm with you.
Well, I messaged her and then no response. So
okay. All right. Well, why don't we take a break? When we come back, we'll call her up and we'll see what Denise thought of Robert and her Reds date with him and whether or not there's any chance of Robert making it to second or third base.
Yeah.
Maybe even a home run is in his future. We'll find out. A second date update continues next. These are passionate Reds fans. In fact, they're so passionate, neither will consider dating anyone who isn't a Reds fan. That's very important. So it's appropriate that their first date was to a Reds game. Did the Reds win or lose?
Oh, they won.
Even better.
Yep, Reds win.
Walked her back to her car after the game. Said, this was great. Love to see you again. She said, that'd be nice. And that was it. That was the last time you heard from her. He tried to reach out and no dice. So we're going to call her up and see what's up. Hi, Denise.
Yes, this is Denise.
Go Reds.
Go Reds.
I'm sorry, who is this?
It's Jeff and Jen at Q102. How are you?
Oh my God, are you serious?
What's going
This isn't a
on?
second date update, is it?
If a Reds fan, if someone who was really into the Reds wanted to go on a second date with you, would you be open to it?
Oh, geez, blindsiding me here. I don't know.
We spoke to Robert. He had a great time with you.
Okay.
The Reds won.
Okay.
I mean, that sounds like a great date.
Yeah, typically it would be. I think he's just a little too quiet and reserved for me, to be honest.
Really?
I'm just, I think, a little more enthusiastic about life than he is. And he's just very quiet, reserved. Don't get me wrong, he's super sweet, but I have to have a guy who has like a little more oomph, I think. Because, at the Reds game, there were a couple times when they made an incredible play and people around us are, they're standing up and cheering. And he just sat there and nodded his head.
Oh.
And maybe clapped 3 times. But
he did one of these. He did this. He did. While nodding his head.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah.
I was just dying to jump out of my seat and yell and scream, but I could tell
Well, you could jump out of your seat. Why can't you do that?
I guess I kind of matched the energy of people I'm with, or just because it was our first date, I didn't want to make a spectacle of myself. But I definitely wanted to jump up with the crowd, and I thought he would too, but it was super weird how reserved he was. And he just sat there, and so I just sat there. And it was honestly torture because it was a great game, so it was really hard for me to remain so calm, and I have no idea how he was able to remain so calm. So, like I said, he's a really nice guy, but I love my Reds, and I cannot spend the rest of my life going to games with a silent fan.
Yeah. But, okay, so, like, if we were to all go to a Reds game, then, like, you can't just chill and have a beer and a hot dog and enjoy the game. Like, you're super into it. Not that that's a bad thing, but
It's a different style.
You're like, you're watching every play.
Going to a game in person, if you're not going to get into it and get into the energy of the crowd and jump up, when the game is going amazing. Like, how can you just sit there? You may as well stay home and just watch from a library or something.
So we all have to be like you?
It helps. I just think that I prefer to have someone who is excited about life, and I think he's a little too mellow.
But why does that mean he's not excited about life? Just because he expresses himself differently?
That's fair. I mean, he could be excited for life, but I like someone who's a bit more demonstrative, I guess.
Gotcha. Who
isn't afraid to let loose and have fun, just like be fun and silly.
Well, this is how Fritchie is at Bengals games.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. I understand that because that's how I feel in Bengals games, and I wouldn't be able to go to the game with someone that just sat there.
Yeah.
So if you flipped this around, I could understand it.
All right, well, let's bring Robert into the conversation. Robert, what do you think? It's funny because I remember you saying in the initial call that, well, what he's like, but he was under the impression that she's as reserved a spectator as he is.
Yeah, that we cuss under our breath when something
You don't holler. You just kind of mumble when you get disgusted.
I guess she would like to not cuss under her breath.
She
would
wants
like to just let
it
it all out.
She don't let that umpire have it.
I let it out.
Yeah.
It's so ironic because I kept thinking during the game, like, oh, wow, we just have this kind of perfect connection because you were so kind of quiet and seemed like you were just enjoying the game just like I do. And to kind of hear you express that I didn't have enough like energy is crazy. I would have not thought that. So, I mean, I guess you're right. We're actually not a good fit.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to come back and say, I was just chilling because I thought you wanted to chill. Like, I didn't want
I totally thought the same thing. I thought he was going to be like, I could be into it.
Yeah. But
wow.
No,
okay.
that's good.
Never mind.
She's aggressive.
Off you go.
It's one of those, it's a turn off.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, okay. I know a lot of couples where they're very different personalities. One is more of an extrovert. She's outgoing. She's more demonstrative. And then he's more reserved. And it works for them, but not for everybody.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for taking the call.
Thanks.
You bet.
Have a good one.
And Robert, good luck to you. Thanks for putting yourself out there and coming on Second Date Update.
Hey, thank you so much. And if you know anybody, send them my way.
We sure will.
All passionate Reds fans.
Gotta be a Reds fan.
Give them a call.
Yeah, but not too passionate.
Yeah.
Passionately reserved.
That's right. Passionately reserved. I like that. Yeah, I mean, I thoroughly enjoy going to a game on a beautiful day. Like yesterday would have been the perfect weather day.
Yeah.
Go to a day game, get a beer, have a hot dog, and just chill.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'm just a lazy fan.
Yeah. Well, you are. Have you ever, though, had a team that you were super passionate about that you did really get into it? Or have you always just, even the teams that you really loved, you were just kind of like, if they win, great, oh well.
No, I mean, I wanted to see him win, especially like my Red Sox. I'd go to a game at Fenway Park if I'm in town or something, especially on the beautiful New England days during the summertime. And I mean, I'm excited, when they win, of course, especially against the Yankees.
Right. Of course.
But yeah, I mean, that's the whole appeal to it, is going during the day and just chilling.
Yeah. You're one of those.
My favorite childhood
Thanks
memory.
for listening to the Q102 Jeff and Jen Morning Show podcast, brought to you by CVG Airport. Fly healthy through CVG. For more information, go to CVG Airport /fly healthy.